प्रभु तव मूर्ति विनोदकारी, पलपन विसरे नहीं जो विसारी। जुगल चरण सोड़ चिन्ह जेह, नजर समीपे रहो अमारी एह। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर, गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बोलो श्री स्वामीनारायण भगवाननी जय, श्री ठाकुर जी महाराजनी जय, श्री हरि कृष्ण महाराजनी जय, श्री घनश्याम महाराजनी जय, श्री सद्गुरु देवनी जय, श्री 500 परमहंसनी जय। Supreme Almighty, our beloved Adi Gurudev Swami Sri Sevit Sri Thakur Ji Maharaj, all the divine Sadgurus from our divine Muktanandiya Parampara, Pathmaker for Liberation Pujya Guruji, all of you devotees, Jai Swaminarayan. We all taking food daily, some thrice in a day, some twice in a day, at least once in a day, except when we have a waterless fast or regular fast. Otherwise, all the other days, we are not going to give a blank day without taking a food. Moreover, some are taking food as medicine, meaning they are taking food only as much amount as their body needed. Also, they intake the food only those food which is beneficial for their body. On the other hand, some other people who always take some food not watching or showing or observing its benefits or nutrition facts, but merely by tasting, for enjoying a different delicacies, some take excess of food. No matter how we take the food, but everyone must need to take the food. Some likes some sweet, some likes spicy, some like sour, some like bitter taste. In this way, there are different tastes of the food, and different people have different liking for different tastes. And according to their liking for different taste, they like different foods. Now, today we are going to talk about food for our soul. Why? Because we all taking food for our body. But ever we have think for the food we are taking for our soul? Ever we have think for this point? Like, just as my body survive with the food I am eating every day, so my soul also needs some food to survive. We never have think on this topic. But in actual sense, food for our soul is nothing but whatever we learn from the scriptures, whatever we learn from the discourses, whatever we get from the Sant Samagam, whatever we received from Ekantik Satpurus, that is called the food for our soul. And just as we are taking different delicacies in the form of food for surviving our body, in the same way, if we want to survive in this satsang, if we want to survive, meaning not this body in the satsang, but our soul in the satsang, then we must need to take any kind of food, either from the scripture, either from the kathavarta, either from the personal contact with the Sadpurus. Anyhow, we must need to take the food. So let we try to get some food from the scripture. It's Gunaditanand Swamini Vat. Here in this slide, we can see body and soul. We all know about two different things, our body and our soul. How we can get differentiate from our body and soul? Just as sometimes we have noticed, whose hand is this? We all say this is mine. Whose eyes is this? I said this is mine. Whose pen is this? I said this is my pen. So, just as you said this is your pen, so you and pen, totally different things. In the same way, your hand and you, totally different. Your eyes and you, totally different. In the same way, this whole body, that not our original or our real form. Because our real form is a soul, which we cannot see outside. So, today we are not going to take any food for our body, but this food is for our soul. And body and soul, totally different things, we understood. Now, let we see Gunaditanand Swamini Vat. Swaminarayan Hare, Swaminarayan Hare. અને સ્વામીએ વાત કરી છે, મહારાજે અનંત પ્રકારની વાતો જીવના મોક્ષને અર્થે પ્રવર્તાવી છે, પણ તેમાં ચાર વસ્તુ છે તે તો જીવનું જીવન છે. તે શું? તો એક તો મહારાજની ઉપાસના, ને બીજી મહારાજની આજ્ઞા, ને ત્રીજી મોટા એકાંતિક સાધુ સાથે પ્રીતિ, ને ચોથું ભગવદી સાથે સુરતપણું. એ ચાર વાતો તો જીવનું જીવન છે, તેને તો મૂકવી જ નહીં. So in this vat, Gunaditanand Swami says, Maharaj has delivered countless discourses for the moksha of the Jiva. We have read the Vachanamrut. Vachanamrut is nothing but the discourses delivered by Maharaj himself. All the Nansantos, they have read down those talks, those Kathavarta delivered by Maharaj, and Adi Gurudev Swami Shri, Gopalanand Swami, Nityanand Swami and Sukhanand Swami, these four Sadgurus, they compose a book in the form of Vachanamrit. So Gunaditanand Swami says, Maharaj has delivered countless discourses for the moksha of the Jiva. And we know all the talks from the Vachanamrit, they are all like a nutrition for our soul. They are all for the liberation of the Jiva. But of them, four are the life force of the Jiva. What is this four? What is these four types of talks which Maharaj has delivered for our soul, and that is the life force of our soul? Life force. What is the meaning of life force? One who gives the force to our life. If these four things are not in our life, our soul, our life would not be survived. So it is called as life force. Just as we are taking oxygen, that's called our life force. Just as we are taking water, that is also known as our life force. Why? Because without oxygen and without water, we cannot survive. In the same way, if we could not develop these four things in our life, then we cannot live in this satsang. Not doubt with our physical body we remain in the satsang, but with our soul we are not touched by Maharaj or Ekantik Satpurus. So even though we are sitting in the mandir, even though we are listening katha, and even though we are performing puja and all the other rituals daily, but still without having these four aspects, we are nothing in this satsang. What are they? What are these four aspects? If we have read Vachanamrut many times, then definitely we got the point of dharma, bhakti, jnana and vairagya, combinedly known as ekantik dharma. But here in this vat, Swami did not say for this 4 point dharma, bhakti, jnana and vairagya. Why? Because in the Vachanamrut, Maharaj has derived this unique and for the first time this aspect of ekantik dharma. But even though we need to maintain dharma, bhakti, jnana and vairagya in our life, and we should be, but sometimes what happens? If we face adverse circumstances, if we face any different situation, either in the form of different places, different company or whatever, but if we face any which is not easygoing thing in our life, and at that time it is very very tough for us to maintain dharma, bhakti, jnana and vairagya. At that time, only if we have rapport, a firm rapport with ekantik satpurus, then and then we can at least maintain all these four aspects of dharma, bhakti, jnana and vairagya. So to maintain all these things, meaning maintain ekantik dharma, we need to have a firm rapport or have a extremely firm affection for the Satpurus or attachment with the Satpurus. Then and then we can maintain ekantik dharma in our life. Otherwise, in adverse circumstances, we cannot maintain our dharma, our bhakti, our knowledge, meaning spiritual knowledge or vairagya. So here, the four aspect is not dharma, bhakti, jnana and vairagya, but instead of that, first, Maharaj's upasna, second, Maharaj's command, third, attachment with the great guardian sadhu, and fourth, friendship with the devotees. These four principles are the life force of the Jiv and they should never be given up. So first one is upasna, second one is agna, third one is attachment with the great guardian sadhu, meaning ekantik sathe drad priti, and fourth one is bhagwadi sathe suratpanu, meaning friendship with all the santos and bhaktos. These four things are very very important for us. Why? Because if we have these four aspects develop or cultivate in our life, then and then we can survive in this satsang. Not only that, but our ekantik dharma also be survived in our life, in our soul. So if we want to progress in the satsang, or if we want to confirm our seat in the Akshardham, if we want to confirm our stability in this satsang, then we must need these four aspects in our life. First, agna, upasna, ekantik sathe priti, and bhagwadi sathe suratpanu. So let me see first agna. What is meaning of agna? We all knew about this thing. Agna meaning the command. And as we know, when there is the word command, so we must follow it. So agna meaning whatever Maharaj has said through the scripture or through ekantik satpurus, all those words are the agnas for us. And today, as you all are the household devotees, so You have only to follow the Siksapatri as well as whatever Satpuru says. On the other hand, we as a renunciant devotee, we have to follow many of the scriptures beside the Siksapatri as well as the words of the Ekantik Satpurus. So here in next slide, we can see agna meaning command, and we must follow the agnas. And 6 agnas mainly if we follow, meaning if you as a household devotees, if you follow these 6 agnas, then that's enough to get Rajip of Maharaj and Ekantik Satpurush like that of Puja Guruji. Why? Because merely by doing this thing, Maharaj and Mota Purush, they would become pleased upon us. First one, do puja daily. Why we have to say this point again and again? Because sometimes some of the devotees, when they grow, then after completing their elementary, after middle school, when they are in the college, then at the time they put their puja aside. And sometimes whenever they are coming back from the dorm or apartments to their house, only then and then they can perform the puja. So this is not should be done in our life. We as a devotee of Loyadham Parivar, we as Nan as belongs to Puja Guruji, so we must do puja daily. So this first thing, do puja daily. Second, attend sabha regularly. So nowadays, the COVID has given us a great gift of the using technology for the satsang. Before COVID, we have only physical sabha in Mandir. Nowadays, we have a sabha, Bal Sabha, Yuva Sabha, everything in digital way, meaning virtual, in the Mandir as well as in the virtual. So do not skip any of this sabha and attend all of these sabhas are the agnas of Puja Guruji as well. On the New Year day, Puja Guruji said to all of us, attend sabha regularly. Respect the parents, which you most likely you all are following this agna by respecting your parents. But what happened? Whenever the devotees they are younger, then at the time they are respecting their parents. But what happened after they grew up, meaning when either they entered the college or after passing some years in the college or even after finishing their graduation, what happened in their life? They are having a good worldly knowledge. They consider themselves as a mature enough to understand everything. They consider themselves as like they knew more than their parents. They are more advanced than their parents. And because of this, the generation gap creates. And because of our belief, because of your false belief, like you are advanced than the others, you sometimes skip this agna of respecting your parents. So this should also be keep in mind to respect parents. Whatever your age become, that doesn't matter. But even though your parents become older and very older, and you also grew up to like you have your kids, still you have to respect your parents. Also the another agnas, avoid bad book, bad company, and whatever bad you can watch from the internet. So this is what our agna of Puja Guruji to us. Why? Because Bad books, bad company, and bad videos, these are spoiling our soul. We are taking food in the form of agna, upasna, ekantik સાથે દ્રઢ પ્રીતિ, and Bhagwade સાથે સુરત પનું. These are our pizzas, pastas, whatever you like, but this is our food. And what happened if we keep the bad company, read bad books, or watch bad videos? Then what happened to our food? Just imagine. You are taking a little bit poison even after taking food. What happened? No food remain in your stomach. Moreover, some adverse effect happen to your body. Moreover, if the poison is so strong, then you might die immediately. So this is what bad company, bad books, and bad videos, they are like the poison for us, because they are kusang. We are going to progress in the satsang, and if still we are engaging these types of kusang, then we will definitely decrease in the satsang. Next is study hard. So this is also agna of Puja Guruji, to study very well and do hard work for get some good results, good points, good score in your regular test and exams. Also read satsang book daily. This is also agna of Puja Guruji for us. Why? Because reading any religious thing daily, those who are 12 or under, or 14 or younger, then those devotees, they must need to read any of charitras daily. Those who are 14 or 15 and older, those devotees must need to read any single Swamini Vat or a paragraph of Vachanamrut or a single Vachanamrut, according to your time and ability to understand. If you have any question arise while reading the scriptures, you must call to Santo, you must contact Santo so that they can explain to you if you cannot understand. So this is also need to do, because if we take the food and not can digest it, so what is the benefit of taking food? We are taking food, why? Because we digest the food, and by digesting the food we can get all the nutrition from the food. So while reading the scripture and understanding with the Santo, this is called the whole food process happen to our body. Next point is upasna. First one is agnya, we concluded, and next upasna. Upasna meaning, in next slide, upasna meaning four aspects there as well. First one is Bhagwan Swaminarayan is the Supreme Lord. This is called our upasna, which Puja Guruji have given us in a, I think I said, in a gift. Why? Because we cannot have perform any particular endeavor for that. We cannot have done any hard work for getting this upasna, meaning understanding Maharaj is supreme and Bhagwan Swaminarayan is the Lord only. We do not perform anything for that, but Puja Guruji have given us this in a gift. So from faith in the form of Maharaj, that is called upasna. Second, upasna meaning to sit near to Bhagwan, come close to Bhagwan, that is called upasna. Upasna, that word derived from the Sanskrit, and up meaning near, asan meaning to go. So to go near to God, that is called upasna. And upasna is, as here it is written in third point, foundation. If we do not have foundation, how can we build high-rise building or a single-story building. Without foundation, we cannot construct anything. So, in the upasna, meaning the form faith in the form of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, as he is the Supreme Lord of Lords, and he is the all-doer. He is always in his divine form, and whatever he does always will give me a benefit. So if we understand this four thing, then and then it can be helpful to us for building our spiritual building in the form of our firmness in satsang and getting more and more virtues and everything. Fourth one is help attachment. Upasna help us to attach our own self with the form of Bhagwan. Because if we understand Bhagwan without the form, that is also the aspect of the upasna. So if we understand by mistakenly, like Bhagwan has no form, so then how we can attach with Bhagwan? So upasna teaches, like Bhagwan has a divine form always, whether he is here in human form, whether he is in the form of Murti, whether he is in the form of Satpurus, whether he is in his divine form, whatever he has taken a form, but still he has a specific divine form. And if we understand this firmly, then and then we have this upasna can help us to attach our own self to the form of Bhagwan. Next point is very, very important for us, and that is ekantik sathe priti. Why this point is more important than the rest of the other three? Why? Because who can give us upasna? Just in the topic of upasna, I said Puja Guruji has given us in the gift, like Bhagwan Swaminarayan is the Supreme Lord. Because without the ekantik Satpurus, without ekantik, no one can able to give someone this thing. If I have $100 with me, then and then I can give you either 100 or 99 or $10. If I do not have anything, how can I give it to you? In the same way, ekantik is the one who has Bhagwan himself. So Puja Guruji has Bhagwan himself, and that's why he has given us all. And we all can get this upasna, agna, Bhagavadi Jode Suratpanu, Dharma, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, all the other virtues in our life, only and only according to our capacity to capture, to grasp whatever Puja Guruji saw upon all of us. Because Satpurus is like a shower. When you are in the rain, so that doesn't mean like 1 feet for the 1 square feet there is a plenty of rain, and the next 1 square feet there is not a drop of water. It's not like that. Nothing never happened like this. So ekantik Satpurus, he is like a rain shower, and everywhere it's similar. So we as a devotee, we as a follower, we are like an earth, and Puja Guruji as ekantik Satpurus, he is like a rain shower. He is everywhere equal. But wherever the earth, like if we dig some soil, then definitely it can capture more water. And if somewhere a little bit like hill, so definitely there cannot be store of water, but always give it to others. In the same way, if we become like a digged soil, so we can contain more water. Meaning, if we become a das, then and then we can get more and more from the Ekantik Satpurus. And if we keep aham, meaning ego, in the form of hill, then we cannot store any of water, any of virtues in our life. So Ekantik Sathe Priti, that's the very, very important point for us. What is Ekantik Sathe Priti? In next slide, love and affection for the Satpurus. First thing, love and affection for the Satpurus. How is the love? Love is equal to water. If we have water, then and then we can get some energy in our life. You can survive without food for a certain period of time, but you cannot survive all those period of time without water. You must need water. Water is alive. In the same way, Ekantik Sathe Drad Priti, that is meaning love for the Ekantik Satpurus, that is also water for our life, our soul. So that's how much water important in our life. So the love for the Satpurus important for our spiritual life. Just as we are not remain without taking water, even though we are not taking food, but still we need to take water, in the same way we must have our attachment with Ekantik Satpurus, with our divine or spiritual affection and love. Dhrad Priti, meaning Puja Guruji many times said during his discourses, like develop 1% more love for Satpurus than the love you have for your relatives. So Puja Guruji give an example like 49-51% ratio. So this 49-51 ratio is more important in our satsang life. Why? Because 49% we have affection for the world, family, relations, our belongings, wealth, property, car, etc., etc., etc. And 51% affection for Maharaj and his Ekantik Satpurus, meaning for the satsang. That's it. We do not need to do anything more. So this is what Dhrad Priti's real form. Dhrad Priti meaning he's not only Priti, Priti meaning love, but Dhrad meaning very firm. So firm affection for Ekantik Satpurus. That is, we have to do 1% more affection for Satpurus than the rest of the world. Why we should keep Dhrad Priti for Ekantik Satpurus? Because Maharaj says in the Vachanamrut Vartal chapter 11, intense love for the Satpurus is the only means of realizing one's Atma. It is the only means to realizing the greatness of the Satpurus, and it is also the only means to having the direct realization of God. That's why we need to develop intense love for Ekantik Satpurus. Intense love meaning Dhrad Priti, and Dhrad Priti meaning 1% more affection than the rest of the world for the Satpurus. So this is what we must need to develop. And if we develop this one thing, all of the other 3 other things automatically derive in our life. Fifth point in this Ekantik Sathe Priti, Puja Guruji's love for his Guru, meaning Puja Dada Guruji. One who has affection, you might have noticed sometimes, if you have affection for, meaning you have liking for your iPhone, you bought a new model recently, and you have natural affection for it. So whenever you go, you always remember your phone. Whenever you always check, does it need to do charging or not? Always you clean it. Always you update it. Also you get some protection in the form of cover, different cover. Also you attach it with the tempered glass screen protector. In this way, why you are doing all this thing? Because you have love for it. You loved your iPhone, you loved your new phone, and that's why you are doing all this thing. Same way, if we have intense love for the Satpurus, what we cannot do for him? If we want to keep our phone safe, if we want to keep our phone with us and up to date, so we are doing everything for it. The phone does not say like I need charging, I'm hungry, I get food in the form of charging. It doesn't say. But if we notice, oh, it's only 5% battery, it must need to charge, and we connect it with the electricity for charging. In the same way, we should realize, if I have a Dhrad Priti, if I have intense love for the Satpurus, then really I want to keep him with me forever. Really I want to keep Ekantik Satpurus in the form of Pujya Guruji always remain in my heart with me in all situations. If yes, then we also maintain many different things. Just as we buy a screen protector, we buy a outer cover, we give it to food in the form of electricity supply for the charging. In the same way, we install some new apps to run it smoothly, get more and more benefit out of the phone. In the same way, we also need to do whatever we need to do for keeping Ekantik Satpurus forever in our heart and forever with us. So how was Pujya Guruji's love for his Guru? Because Satpurus, as whenever they descended from the Akshardham and take a human birth, and as they are in the form of Sadguru, still they are performing like an ordinary person to give us an example how should be the love for the Ekantik Satpurus. So we have many different examples from Pujya Guruji's life, but one of them was the incident of when Pujya Dada Guruji told Pujya Guruji to go inside the room. He locked the room from outside and give him only one thing, and that is the form of Maharaj, a small photo murti. And Pujya Guruji was inside with the small photo murti of Bhagwan and nothing else. No water, no bathroom, no food, nothing. Not going to sleep as well. And Pujya Dada Guruji, he was watching. There was a small 6 inches by 6 inches window in the door. I have seen that door. So Pujya Dada Guruji frequently, like 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, he came, opened that window and watch what Pujya Guruji is doing inside. But every time, whenever Pujya Dada Guruji opened the window and noticed, Pujya Guruji was looking on the form of Bhagwan, because Pujya Dada Guruji's agna was that for him. You should not do anything, not going to sleep. You should sit here on this place, not by resting near the wall, nor any other things. And while sitting in the center of the room, you should focus your vision, focus your mind only and only on this form of Bhagwan. So Puja Guruji, he did this for the whole day, from early morning to late night, without taking a drop of water, without going anywhere, uh, like without standing or without walking, just sitting on one single place for the whole day and focusing on the form of Bhagwan. Why he could do this? Why Puja Guruji could do this? Because he has intense love for his Guru. That's why he can easily follow his commands. Moreover, whenever Puja Dada Guruji commands him to go outside in the rain and sleep under the rain, so he, without any shame, without having any question, without having doubt, he immediately go there and sleep. So this is what his Drad Priti for his Dada, his Guruji, meaning our Dada Guruji. So by his life, we can learn a lesson how we should be alert, how we should be cautious to follow each and every agnas given us by Puja Guruji. If we consider our own self as we have intense love for the Satpurus, and if we have not this intense love for the Satpurus, then according to Maharaj's words in the Vachanamrut Vartal chapter 11, we must need to develop this thing in our life. Fourth point is Bhagavadi Jode Surat Panu. This fourth and last point, even though we have upasna in life, even though we are following each and every commands given by Maharaj and Satpurus, even though we have Drad Priti, meaning intense love for the Satpurus, still we need to Bhagavadi Jode Surat Panu. Why? Because sometimes, anyhow, we cannot follow any commands given by Sadpurus like Puja Guruji to us. So at the time, what we can do? If we have not that much intense love for him so that we can follow immediately. On the other hand, we cannot explain the reason, or we cannot explain our disability to follow his command, or we cannot explain him to our less spiritual strength to follow his commands. Then how can we explain it to Satpurus? Because we anyhow, like many reasons can be the different, like maybe our nature is extremely shy, maybe we cannot like that much attachment with him, and that's why we cannot tell him anything. So how we can do this? Meaning, on one side we cannot follow his agna, on the other side we cannot explain it to him, the reason. So at the time, if we have Bhagavadi Jode Surat Panu, meaning one who is near to Satpurus, one who has more affection, more Drad Priti than our own self for the Satpurus, those Santo and Bhakto, we must need to attach our own self with them. Meaning we must keep friendship with those devotees and Santo. Why? Because whenever such dilemma happen to our life, meaning on one side we cannot follow the agna given by Puja Guruji, on the other side we cannot tell him the truth. So at that time, if we have Surat Panu, meaning friendship with the other Santo and Bhakto, and if we disclose our heart towards this Santo and Bhakto, then they can help us to give us, meaning to provide us a bridge so that we can connect with Puja Guruji again. Moreover, sometimes what happens to the young or teenage devotee's life, they have lapsed some agna given by Maharaj due to peer pressure, due to bad company, due to any kind of cushion outside. The lapses from following any of the agnas. And if they do not have this friendship with other santo and bhaktos besides Satpurus, then what happened? Gradually they departed from the satsang. And if they have friendship with santo and bhakto, then what happened? Even though he cannot go direct to Satpurus. Why? Because he has reached the agna, so he cannot go direct to Satpurus. But if he has a friendship with the other santo and bhakto, so he can remain in the satsang. And those santo and bhakto, the company of santo and bhakto to whom he has a friendship, they help him to attach with Satpurus. They provide him atmosphere to disclose his heart and accept whatever he has committed in the form of sin in the front of Ekantik Satpurus. Moreover, they can help him and they provide atmosphere to follow agnas, meaning give him a U-turn. They give him a U-turn and come back into the satsang path. So this is what Bhagavati Jode Suratpanu did in our life. That's why this is also important. So first one is, in this point, being friendly with the Ekantik Sant. Not the Satpurus, but beside the Satpurus, we must have friendship with the Santo and Bhakto. If we cannot get who is perfect friend for me, meaning Santo and Bhakto, so we must ask our Satpurus, to whom I can maintain my friendship for the satsang. And whoever the Satpurus said, we must develop friendship with those Santos and Bhaktos. Second point, very important for us, dasna das. If we have this point in our life, this virtue in our life, then we can maintain this Bhagavati Jode Suratpanu. Otherwise, what happens? If we have ego, we have not this virtue of dasna das, then we cannot match with the others. And always egotistical person never mixed with the other group of devotees. Why? Because he believed himself like, I am separate from the others, I am different from the others, I am like greater than the others. And that's why he always remained little bit aloof from the group of devotees. But one who has this virtue, dasna das, he always maintain his friendship. Third one is samp and joy. Live with the samp, live with the unity. Develop this virtue of samp in our life so that we can mix with the other devotees and santo and bhakto. And this samp, this satsang unity, provide us an atmosphere to always remain aloof from the kusang. They always protect us from the kusang. And joy, meaning whenever we have a group of devotees, we definitely can enjoy a lot. You have a question arise in your mind, how and why this happened. But you might have realized in your life, whenever you are in the Sibir or any Mandir occasion and you are with your friends in the satsang, so definitely you are enjoying a lot. And even though you are alone and sitting in front of Bhagwan, at that time you cannot enjoy that much satsang when you have in a group. So samp and joy, those both things are like simultaneously develop in our life and realize in our life. So these all four aspects, first one is upasna, second one is agna, third one is drar priti with the Ekantik Satpurus, and fourth one is friendship with the Ekantik Santo and Bhakto. These four aspects are very, very delicious food like pizza, Mexicans, whatever you like, whatever you loved, that kind of food is this. And by consuming this food, we can get more nutrition for our soul. So just as you are taking food for your body, in the same way, try to grasp all of this food for our soul, because our soul is also need some kind of food to get energized. Just as you get energized by in sport, if you are tired and by drinking any like Gatorade or other drinks, energy drinks, immediately you get revitalize your body. In the same way, by keeping a Drad Priti with Ekantik Satpurus, by joining friendly with the Santo and Bhakto, by keeping upasna and agna, this is our Gatorade, this is our energy drink, our food, whatever we consider it. But we must need to take this in our life for our soul. By saying this, my humble Jai Swaminarayan. Sri Thakur Ji Maharajani Jai. Sri Patim Sri Dharam Sarvadeveshwaram Bhakti Dharmatmajam Vasudevam Harim Madhavam Keshavam Kamadam Karanam Swaminarayanam Neelakantham Bhaj. Sri Ghanshyamprakashdasji Jai.